In 2013, the C-section rate in the United States was 32%, and by many accounts that's too high. There's wide practice variation too. In my own state of Connecticut, I was able to find a hospital with a C-section rate of 45% and one with a C-section rate of 20%. I'm not naming names. Multiple societies, from the WHO to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, have advocated getting the rate down. The unstated implication here is that unnecessary C-sections occur. Of course, when you phrase it that way, you can see why there's been some significant pushback against these recommendations. Now, if you're designing a trial to affect behavior, there's two broad strategies. The first is to use a single targeted intervention. The second is more of a shotgun approach. You try to throw a bunch of things into the mix, hoping that something sticks. Now, the latter is more likely to give you a positive trial, but you're always left wondering which of the many things you tried actually worked. Changing physician behavior is really tricky. I have some personal experience with this, but this is just what the charisma investigators attempted to do in a study appearing in the New England Journal of Medicine. This was a cluster randomized trial of 32 hospitals in Quebec, which was designed to reduce the rate of cesarean section. 16 of the hospitals got a multifaceted intervention, the shotgun approach, and 16 were control hospitals. When I say multifaceted, I really mean it. In the intervention hospitals, there were educational symposia. They identified local opinion leaders to spearhead the intervention. They developed best practices. They even did auditing of C-sections with feedback to providers to attempt to get the rate down. After looking through all of this, you have to feel for the poor OB-GYNs who are under the microscope in those hospitals. But did it work? Well, sort of. In the intervention hospitals, the C-section rate decreased by 0.7% over 1.5 years, compared to an increase of 0.3% in the control hospitals. This was just statistically significant, but obviously not very impressive in terms of numbers. There are basically two interpretations here. The first is that unstated implication that unnecessary C-sections occur is false. The second, and what I think is more likely, is that it's really hard to change physicians' behaviors and attitudes just with education and even with feedback. I don't want to be a Monday morning quarterback here, but perhaps the next trial needs to target the pocketbook. For MedPage Today, I'm Perry Wilson.